Investigation process mapping. First is intelligence gathering. The intelligence gathering stage serves as the foundation of the anti-illegal drug investigation process. At this point, investigators collect and validate information about potential drug-related activities through surveillance, informant reports, community tips, and background investigations. The primary goal is to obtain credible and actionable intelligence that can identify individuals, groups, or locations involved in illegal drug operations. This stage ensures that any subsequent action is based on accurate information and is both necessary and legally justified. Second is case evaluation and target selection. After gathering sufficient intelligence, investigators analyze and evaluate the credibility and relevance of the information received. This involves assessing the feasibility of conducting an operation, identifying specific suspects and locations, and verifying the modus operandi of the drug activity. Through this evaluation, investigators determine whether the case is strong enough to move forward and select appropriate targets. These steps helps ensure that operational resources are focused on verified and high-priority cases. Third is pre-operational planning. Once a target is confirmed, investigators proceed with pre-operational planning, which is crucial for ensuring the effectiveness and safety of the operation. During this stage, an operational plan is created, outlining the strategy, objectives, and roles of each team member. Risk assessments are conducted, and coordination with the Philippine Drug Enforcement Agency, as required by the RA 9165, is completed. Logistics, communications protocols, and entry and exit routes are also prepared. This stage ensures that the operation is carefully designed, legally compliant, and executed with minimal risk. Pre-operation documentation. Pre-operation documentation focuses on completing the legal and administrative requirements prior to the actual operation. This includes securing a pre-operation number, preparing affidavits and checklists, and organizing evidence kits to ensure proper handling and chain of custody. Investigators also assign specific roles to the arresting officers, search team, perimeter security, and documentation unit. Proper documentation at this stage strengthens the legal standing of the operations and prevents procedural lapses.
Execution of operation. The execution phase is the implementation of the planned anti-drug operation such as a buy-bust, entrapment, search warrant service, or surveillance-based apprehension. Officers conduct the arrest of suspects while strictly observing safety protocols, including the proper reading of Miranda rights and adherence to use of force guidelines. Seized drugs and paraphernalia are immediately marked on site to preserve their evidentiary value. This stage requires precision, discipline, and full compliance with legal procedures to ensure that the operation is both successful and defensible in court. On site documentation. Immediately after the operation, investigators complete detailed on site documentation to record everything that transpired. This includes photographing and videotaping the scene, conduct an inventory of seized items, and ensuring the presence of mandatory witnesses such as a media representative, a barangay official, and a DOJ representative. These procedures ensures transparency and uphold the integrity of the evidence, preventing future legal challenges and strengthening the prosecution's case. The post-operational procedures. These activities involve turning over seized evidence to the crime laboratory for examination, preparing detailed reports, and conducting drug testing on the arrested individuals. Investigators finalize their sworn statements and ensure that all documents are completed accurately. These procedures help establish a clear chain of custody and support the legal processing of the suspects. This stage serves as a bridge between field operations and formal legal proceedings. The inquest and filing of charges. During the inquest, the apprehended suspect is brought before a prosecutor who evaluates the legality of the arrest and sufficiency of the evidence. Investigators submit all documents, including affidavits, inventory sheets, photographs, and laboratory requests. Based on the evidence and compliance with RA 9165 procedures, the prosecutor determines the appropriate charge to file. This stage formally transitions the case in the judicial system.
Case monitoring and follow-up. Even after charges are filed, investigators continue monitoring the progress of the case. This includes coordinating with prosecutors, attending court hearing when summoned, and following up on additional intelligence that may lead to related operations. Case monitoring ensures that the prosecution remains strong and that investigators support the legal process until the case is resolved. It also helps identify broader networks or patterns that can inform future anti-drug efforts. Sample case scenario summary. Police received verified intelligence about Elias Riot, a suspected drug seller in Barangay Maligaya. After coordinating with PDEA, preparing a buy-bus operation, and undercover officer purchased shabu from the suspect, leading to his immediate arrest. Officers conducted proper marking, photographing, and inventory of the seized evidence in the presence of required witnesses. The suspect underwent booking and drug testing, and the confiscated items were submitted to the crime laboratory. An inquest followed, resulting in the filing of charges under Republic Act 9165, with the case monitored as the progress to the court.
Coordination with PDEA. All anti-illegal drug operations must have prior coordinations with PDEA, recorded through coordinations from acknowledged by PDEA. This prevents duplications of operations and ensures legality. Second, operational briefing or pre-ops. Before the operations, the teams must hold a formal briefing covering assignment or rules, review of operational plans and risk analysis, communication signals, and emergency plans. Third, markings of evidence. Immediately after seizure, the arresting officer must mark the evidence with his initials, dates, times, and place of confiscations. Marking must be done at the place of arrest, unless safety conditions required otherwise. Fourth, presence of required witness during the inventory and photographing of seized items. The following must be present: a representative from the DOJ, a media representative, an elected barangay official.
Chain of custody requirements. Custody must show the chronological movement of evidence from seizure to presentation in court, including seizing officer, evidence custodian, crime lab examiner, and court personnel. A chain of custody form must be properly completed to maintain the integrity of evidence. Arrest procedures. Arresting officer must inform the suspect of cause of arrest, identity of arresting authority, their constitutional rights or Miranda rights, and anti-torture law warnings. Human rights guidelines must be strictly observed. RA 9165 Procedural Guidelines. These guidelines are based on Section 5, 11, 21, 26, 27, and 30 of the Comprehensive Dangerous Drugs Act of 2002. Section 21. Proper handling of seized drugs. Chain of custody law. This section outlines mandatory procedures to ensure the evidence integrity. Seized drugs must be immediately marked upon confiscation. Inventory and photographs must be taken in the presence of required witnesses such as the DOJ representative, media, barangay official. Copies of the inventory must be provided to the suspect and witnesses. Evidence must be turned over to the criminal laboratory within 24 hours. Failure to comply requires the police to give valid, justifiable reasons, and steps taken must still preserve the integrity of the evidence. Section 5. Sale, trading, or delivery of dangerous drugs. Covered by buy-bust and other sales transaction. Any person caught selling, trading, delivering, or distributing illegal drugs is punishable by life imprisonment to death, now reclusion perpetua. Buy-bust operations are recognized as legitimate forms of entrapment. Section 11. Possession of dangerous drugs. Applies when the suspect is found possessing shabu, marijuana, or other illegal drugs. Penalties vary depending on quantity. Immediate marking and documentation of seized items are mandatory. Section 26. Attempt or conspiracy. Even without the actual sale, planning or agreeing to sell or distribute drugs is punishable. This is often used when surveillance uncovers intent but no direct transaction is observed. Section 27. Criminal liability of officials. Police and public officers who mishandle operations or commit abuses are penalized under this law. This ensures accountability and discourages misconduct during drug operation. Section 30. Criminal liability of officers arresting without warrant allows warrantless arrest during buy-bust operations, hot pursuit, and flagrante delicto situations as long as the officer complies with all legal requirements.